Welcome back to Sport Bike Menace. You guys can kind of guess right now it's about helmets, obviously because I have my helmet on. But today's topic is about helmet size and how expensive should you spend on helmets to make sure you're safe. So this was a video that came up because of a subscriber, well, a new subscriber to the channel, and we was discussing on helmet size and why is it important to have the right fitting helmet. And everything that he said was I already knew about, but it's the point that I never discussed it on one of my videos. STG, which is sporttrackgear.com, he also has videos on YouTube, so you guys can search up his videos, and he's better at what he does because he sells these products. He sells multiple track gears or motorcycle parts. Plus, he does his own reviews for the parts that he sells, or helmets that he sells, or gears that he sells. So he would have a better explanation, probably better than what I got. But I'll try to explain in my personal way. I did have a motorcycle accident, and I'll explain why it's so important to have a perfect fitting helmet. Now, your helmet is not supposed to be super loose. So like this one is considered super loose. It might be, it's comfortable, don't get me wrong, it is comfortable, but it's too loose. So I'm supposed to have an extra small in this brand, which is Ruroc, and you want to go a size down for their helmets. Now I had an AGV or AVG or whatever it's called. It's an Italian brand, and that helmet was a medium, and that helmet was way looser than this helmet or the Bell that I got. And I had a motorcycle accident with that helmet. And the problem with wearing a helmet that's too loose is that it can't protect your brain or your skull itself because the helmet is too loose. So when you get into an accident, with the impact alone can shift your helmet somewhere else. Now if your helmet's up here, your forehead is wide open and there's nothing really protecting that. So like, you know, your helmet can get pushed back. Now your face is pushed against your visor. So that can cause concussions or fracture in your skull, brain damage. So you want a helmet that's not going to be sliding around as easy. Then another one is when it drags on the pavement itself can be dragging it sideways. And then again, it's exposing your face to the visor, which is not protected. It's just a plastic piece. It's better to have something compared to nothing, but at the same time, you bought a helmet to protect you. And especially if you bought an expensive helmet, because these helmets are sold at $500, and you spent $500, is not even protecting you the way it should be because you bought it too big. In reality, you shouldn't be wearing it. You should send it back as soon as you try it on and you notice is that it's too loose like this. You should send it back. Now the reason why I didn't send mine back is because Ruroc has inliners that they can change out. So since mine is a small, I can change the inliner to extra small and it will make a tighter fit. Now I'm hoping with that it fixes the problem. If not, either way, I'm planning to change out my helmet and buy a racing helmet. This helmet, you can use it for racing, but in reality it's a sport touring type of helmet that you can use on your sport bike, but it's really not meant for racing. And I'll explain the difference between this type of helmet and a racing helmet. So I don't know if you'll be able to see, but there's a spoiler in the back. The racing helmet is going to have a bigger spoiler and at a certain angle. So when you're at a tuck-in position, the spoiler is going to push down on your head to make sure that you stay flat on the bike. And when you're going really fast, your helmet's not going to want to lift you up. So that's the difference between this type of helmet and a racing helmet. If you guys search it up on STG's website or RevZilla's website and you search up racing helmets, you're going to see the spoiler is going to be different. I hope you guys can see it on the camera, but the spoiler is going to be different. It's going to be a longer spoiler at a certain angle also. But yes, you can still use this for racing. It's just not really advertised as a racing helmet. So again, now you don't want a helmet that is too tight. There is still a difference. A helmet that's too tight might be putting pressure on your temple or the back of your head or the top of your head, and it's going to give you a headache. And when you feel that the helmet, like, to put it on is so difficult and it's so difficult to take off, that's because the helmet is too tight. It's too small. That means you got to go a size up. And again, you'll feel it that it's too tight. It's like if you're really forcing it on, which I'm going to show you guys the difference between taking this off and then putting it on, that it's not too difficult to take off, it's not too difficult to put on, but I still need an extra small. That's too easy to take off. Now to put on, you always want to split these two apart, like slide them to the side, and then bring down. And then move them around because your ears might be in the way. But you can see that's too loose. To put on and to take off is too loose. So you want a tighter fit helmet where you kind of still have to like put force into it and also force to take off. So here, I'm gonna put out my phone so you guys can see. Hold on. I just got so many photos. Right, so see if you guys can see this. So Ruroc has the custom A-liners, and it's $30, not including shipping, but in total it's $60 for me to buy it and ship it out with taxes and all that. But I'm hoping you guys can see it. And it's an extra small, and it'll fit this helmet, and it should squeeze everything. And again, if that doesn't work, then either way, I'm planning in the future buy a smaller helmet. So then to show you guys, if your helmet is too loose, I'm gonna show you my motorcycle accident. And again, I'm hoping you guys can see it, but the light might not let you guys. So let me see if I turn off this light. So there's me on the ground underneath the second car. That's not the car that hit me. This is the car that hit me and hit me from the left side. I slid on the pavement. I was knocked out unconscious and then threw into the second car. Now to go back into that picture. So I don't have the other picture where it shows the hubcap came off, but the front of my helmet, and turn this light back on. So the front of my helmet, this part, the forehead, hit against her hubcap and it left a nice dent on the forehead. I had a severe concussion because, again, the helmet wasn't properly fit. It was moving too much. And if this is loose, you can just imagine how loose that other one was. So you want to make sure that you got a perfect fit helmet that is not doing that. If you see doing that or twisting side to side, you need a smaller helmet. If it's too tight, that's not good neither, because you want to still be able to ride comfortably. You don't want to have a migraine by the time you're done riding, but you need a helmet that's tighter than this. So, and then to show you guys, make sure you guys do have proper protection. Now me, I don't and I won't, because I like to ride comfortably. But because of that motorcycle accident, she broke my leg. A piece of the bone broke off and they had to put a screw back on, and I had nerve damage from the accident, and my leg will never be the same. The muscle doesn't want to grow back to the way it was before. So there's things happen that we don't expect, and things like this we don't think it's going to be a problem, but having a helmet that's too loose, it is a problem. It doesn't protect your head, it doesn't protect your brain. You'll get a concussion. You can get worse because the helmet can actually cause you more problems than actually helping you out. And then another problem with this helmet with Ruroc, I think I maxed it out, but I'm going to double check. But I don't know if you'll be able to see. I can't tighten it anymore, and I can still put 2 fingers there and it's not tight enough. I would like to be able to tighten it to the point where I'm choking myself. because if it's to my neck, it's gonna be less difficult for the helmet to try to rip off. So because I have so much gap between the chin strap to my chin, it's able to lift up more. It's able to go like this before it maxes out. So even though I get the extra small, I'm gonna try to make sure that I maxed it out, but I believe I maxed it out. But that's another thing you gotta watch out for. Now on my bell, I can tighten it to the point where I'm choking myself, and that bell can stay like this, and it's not going to lift up as much. So again, guys, make sure that your helmets are perfectly fit, and if they don't fit well, then send them back. The last conversation will be about getting helmets that are too cheap. You don't want a helmet that's 50 bucks. You don't want a helmet that's $100. If the helmet was $300 on STG and then they had a price reduction because there is on sale, it's a different story. If it's $300 and they're selling that for $150, that helmet, the protection of that helmet's at $300. They just had it on sale. So never go cheap on your helmets. There's motorcycle parts that you don't go cheap on either. So your clutch and your brake lever, you don't go cheap on that. Same thing with brake pads. You don't go cheap on that because your life is on 2 wheels, right? So you don't want to go cheap on motorcycle parts just as much as you don't want to go cheap on a helmet. Now, I understand that we're all on a tight budget, but again, look for deals on Revzilla or STG, sporttrackgear.com, or other websites. We got there's other websites that you can check out that are legit and that sell name brand helmets for cheap price because they're on sale. So don't go cheap. Make sure you get a helmet that fits you perfect, not too tight and not loose to the point where it's moving like this in your face. So everybody, ride safe, stay warm, and I hope this was able to help you guys out. Hit like, put a comment, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.